Today, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Miami Dolphins and the Washington football team. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Rolling, and he's going to go down again. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. But someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to fourth. CD, there are 3 and outs, and then there are 3 and outs. The first drive of the game, not 1, not 2, but 3 straight sacks.
You're exactly right about that, and sometimes you hold up those 3 fingers as defenders to signify the 3 and out. This time it's 3 sacks in a row. What a tremendous start for them.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
6 DBs on the field for Washington on 3rd down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack him, because right now...
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Now for the point after. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On second down now. Rush. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Davis now to return it. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year. But you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game, because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6. Points. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
2nd and 10. Throwing out of the shotgun, it's Stewart. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, They've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
On second down, rush. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And the Dolphins have got it.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone. For a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Going to go play action. Here's Stewart. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Richardson now on 1st and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration. And haul it in.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. Rush. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Returnable here for Davis. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8.
57's the line. 57's the line. You ain't doing nothing.
Throwing on 1st down, Richardson. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Check 3. Check safety. Alert 3.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial, but I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media, we'll start to obsess about it and wonder.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there, with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. On first down, rush, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for him from a week ago: 11 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first, but they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game. Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stewart. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
On second down now, rush. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt. Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll run on first down. Rush. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Stewart. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those...
Launches deep, a jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for... Miami. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there, we've seen...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Dancing to his left. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
57, Mike, 57.
Throwing now, Stewart. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Stewart sets to throw. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Stewart to throw it. Flushed out right. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Richardson, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Touchdown! A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On first down, Stewart rolling to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
2nd down, here's Stewart. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Looking to throw. Stewart. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They will throw on 1st down with Stewart. Looking sideline, incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now Stewart, 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And Washington now going to use the 1st of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stewart. Throwing right, and that's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Back to throw. Stewart. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goal. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it, the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Now Richardson throwing on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the 2nd half of the season. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the visitors who are out in front in the 2nd quarter. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who had the lead in that one. The Rams seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. The Jets trying to finish that one off.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Beautiful fake. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
57's Mike 57.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a 2nd down and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Trick smash. Trick smash. What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go. Big smash. Me.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. First possession of the 2nd half now for Washington. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Play action. Stewart. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at about the 28. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And a give this time to the tailback. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
57 Mike. Guard out, ready? 57's the Mike. Mark 57.
On first down, Mullins. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. That's
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. It's 35. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Cowboy 80. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
And to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run on first down. Cotton. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Stewart looking to throw on second down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Stewart on 1st and 10. He finds his target. It's Matthews. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He'll buy some under pressure again, and down he goes again. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Washington going to send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, They want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down at 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only... Yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he'll have a Dolphins 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They run the counter. It's Mullins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The handoff as they run the counter play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Let's go. 72 more. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Watch the safety creep. Deuce.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Washington ready to try again on offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Stewart. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 23. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Mullins, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Washington, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.